Hello my friends and welcome to Nightmare Mode. That's right, Brotato has a new update with a new class, new weapon, and most excitingly, a brand new difficulty, Nightmare Mode, even harder than Danger 5. I'm super excited to jump into this and try out the new increased difficulty. So this is available in the Steam beta currently, only on Steam. Right-click on the game and select betas in order to opt into it. The new difficulty mode in Nightmare Mode, so let me just show you what it actually looks like. Enemies have an additional 60% damage and health. Now that's on top of the 40% that they already have for Danger 5. So it's only a 20%, plus 20% increase, or about 15% more total health and damage than they have on Danger 5. But they also get plus 10% speed, and most horribly, the items in the shop increase in price faster, so you're going to have less items to work with when you're playing on Nightmare Mode. You also get all of the difficulty increases from Danger 5, and I don't know what these mean yet, because this is going to be my first run. Constant projectile fire begins, and obscuring fog appears. So I think we're going to have a hard time seeing what enemies are doing, and we're going to have to constantly dodge projectiles. In order to unlock Nightmare difficulty, you have to beat Danger 5, even if you've already done it, which I've gone ahead and done offline. So let's jump into the new difficulty mode. I'm going to do what I think is the easiest to run in the game, to give myself the greatest chance of being able to win the new increased difficulty. So we're going to play Doctor with Medical Gun. Now, there were also a bunch of balance changes alongside this patch. Medical Gun also got a pretty significant buff. It now just shoots faster by default. So that's going to be a pretty powerful upgrade. Now, obviously, armor modifications being reduced, really bad, especially with the even more increased damage that we're going to have on this difficulty setting. But all of the defensive stats that you get from the Doctor and the bonus attack speed make it an extremely powerful character. Okay, yeah, so you can see there are just random projectiles wandering around the map. How much damage do they do? Okay, only one on wave 1 here. So we should be okay. I will say that this is a lot of sensory overload, just paying attention to where those projectiles are. So I expect it to be pretty chaotic at later levels, especially once the obscuring fog, whatever that looks like, starts appearing. Let's roll here. I'm looking for harvesting, and I'm going to roll again. I missed twice, so I'll just take a ranged damage. The Doctor has plus 100% attack speed with medical weapons, because you get plus 200% attack speed with medical weapons, and then minus 100% attack speed. So it adds up to plus 100%. Buying ranged damage for our medical guns is going to be extremely efficient, because we're attacking twice as fast as they normally would. I'm going to go ahead and ban Baby Elephant here, but we'll lock Lens. It's a very efficient way to buy ranged damage. And then we'll buy a medical gun. I'm going to ban Turret. I'm going to take this run pretty seriously because I don't know how hard this difficulty setting is. So we're going to ban even items that are kind of fun. We'll ban them out in order to get good economy and damage items. Penguin, I think we can leave in the pool. We will end up with a lot of regeneration because we're playing the Doctor. We're using a medical weapon, but I'm not going to lock it here. And then I'll roll. We'll ban Small Fish, which I think is just a fairly weak item overall. Roll again. I'll ban the landmines, and then I'm going to roll again. Lock a medical gun, and we'll lock Lumberjack Shirt. So we found 2 good items, and we found some weapons. Now, I'm a little behind in terms of weapon upgrades. The medical guns that we've found so far are not enough to make me happy with how many weapons we've found, but hopefully as we keep rolling, we'll be able to fill out our weapon set pretty quickly. Only 3 on a relatively cheap weapon is bad, but this is a weapon that has 2 weapon tags, and one of them is gun, so you're not that likely to find too many of them. I could roll for harvesting here, but let's just take another ranged damage. Enemies have increased health, so we'll need more of that. And we'll be able to get enough harvesting, but I need to make sure I can kill stuff. Then I'm going to roll here, lock this medical gun, and I could roll. So we're guaranteed to see 2 weapons in the shop, in the first 2 shops, every time we re-roll. We found a level 2 medical gun, which means we could roll into another level 1, but we have half the chances of doing so, because we only have one one shop slot here. So I think what we're going to do here is I will go ahead and buy the lens, and I will do one reroll for 4, and we can go ahead and ban Dynamite, and then just go to wave 3. I decided to reroll there on the chance of finding the level 1 medical gun, but since I didn't think it was that likely, I wanted to buy the other item first, just so we could maybe have rolled into a fertilizer or something. The projectiles are coming from the other direction this time, so that's cool. But so far, it's been a relatively easy pattern to dodge. I expect it gets more difficult in later waves. It does seem like the different waves, the waves that we've seen so far, have the same projectile pattern. That may increase as we get to later ones. Let's reroll here, and I don't need attack speed on the Doctor because we start with plus 100%. Obviously, it's listed as minus 100% on this character sheet. Attack speed is still good, but I'm just going to take Harvesting and make sure that our economy is online. And then here, let's buy the Scar. We're a little short on our weapons, but we should be able to find another medical gun pretty quickly. And at least we have a level 2, so we have 6 total weapon levels, even if we only have 5 weapons. Alright, so this is a different pattern. They're coming from the top of the screen now, and it looks like they have a slightly different spread, or that might just be because the top of the screen is wider. Go kill this tree here. So far, the increased enemy health hasn't been a big deal. I am going to kill Curse Aliens. Now, Curse is more dangerous, of course, on this difficulty setting, because Curse is a multiplier on enemy health, so it's going to increase their health even more. On the Doctor, you still need to buy armor, so I am going to take the 1 armor here. Even though you buy armor at half rate, armor is such an important stat, you should buy it even more aggressively than you would on a normal character. And then here I'm going to take 5 harvesting so that we're at 21 or higher harvesting. We'll buy some ranged damage, we'll go ahead and ban Snake, and then I'll reroll. I don't need to buy any healing on this character, because Medical Gun has inherent lifesteal, and we have a bunch of regeneration, and we'll get even more with like our penguins and stuff like that. So we basically never need to buy healing. We can ban Butterfly. I will take the injection, and then I'm going to roll again. We'll buy a fertilizer, ban Book here, and then do another reroll. Okay, so I'm a little concerned because I haven't found another medical gun. There we go, found one. And Eye Patch is pretty good. We will probably want to build crit chance. Medical gun crits for 2x. And piercing shots are really strong for this weapon, so Eye Patch is a pretty nice find. We're very happy with this shop. Still haven't seen any obscuring fog, so I'm looking forward to what that looks like. Looks like this is the same projectile pattern as last wave, but from the bottom of the screen. Okay, that did hit really hard. We only have 1 armor and only 15 health, so the increased damage means that that random projectile put a lot of damage into me. So I need to boost my max health and find a little more armor, especially as later in the run, these projectiles become a little harder to dodge. The fact that they wave back and forth, too, they don't travel in a straight line, does make it a little more unpredictable where they're going. Let's roll here, and I will take 8 more harvesting, and then I'll take 12% more damage, and then we'll finally fill out our weapon set. We can buy the lens. I'll do a reroll here. I don't think we want a bonk dog. I'm going to do 1 more reroll, buy another medical gun, and lock jerky. Okay, here we go. This is the obscuring fog. That is a cool effect. I really like how this looks. So I can sort of see things at the outer ring. I can't see anything in the extreme edges. That mostly doesn't matter for this wave anyways. It might be more difficult on elite waves. And obviously it does make it a little harder to find trees. I think that this will be particularly challenging for melee weapons compared to ranged weapons, because you'll have less time to decide how far you want to be away from enemies. The other thing about the fog here is that it makes it more likely that you want something that helps you pick up materials, because we don't see where they are on the ground as easily, so it's a little harder to know where to go to get them. Here we're going to take all of these, and then I'm going to re-roll. So I'll definitely take the baby gecko, but we'll take tree first. We'll lock baby gecko, and I'll re-roll. Take some ranged damage, and do I want alien tongue? I think I want baby geckos more than I want alien tongues, so we're just going to go to wave 7 here. Alright, so we've got projectiles from the bottom of the screen. So it looks like wave 6 is darkness, but no projectiles. So later waves are probably going to involve both darkness and projectiles, which will be harder to dodge. I also still have extremely low maximum health, so we're going to have to use our level 10 upgrade here on max HP, I think. Because right now, with only 18 health, I am in a lot of trouble if I take any damage. So far, I'm really enjoying the new difficulty. There's a lot to manage, but it hasn't felt overwhelming, though obviously I'm playing a pretty easy character. We'll take the coffee here, and then, yeah, I do need to roll for maximum health, because right now our max HP is really bad, and then we'll roll again, and I'm going to take, I wouldn't mind luck or attack speed is still also fine here, but I'm just going to take more max HP. Then we'll boost our damage output. Like I said, we don't need to buy lifesteal, so let's just re-roll here. Is my HP low enough that I need jelly, even though we're only using one type of weapon? I don't think so. I'll take half an armor on the duct tape, and then I'll roll twice more, looking for more damage output, mostly. I have +3 consumable heal, so I think I will take an alien worm. The consumable heal is important, but our max health is more important, especially as we go into an elite wave with the bonus 20% damage that the elites get in this mode. And we're probably going to have to be dodging other projectiles in addition to the elites' attacks, and maybe fighting it in the dark, which could add a lot of interesting dimensions to fighting elites. Okay, so I'm going to clear out all of those other enemies before I finish off the blobfish. Alright, so I took a hit there, but it was only 9 damage from the lamprey, so it wasn't terrible. I was a little worried that it would kind of one-tap me. And we should be able to get one more Curse Alien kill. On this difficulty mode, you might want to avoid... Alright, I didn't get the Curse Alien kill, but that's okay. On this difficulty mode, you might sometimes want to avoid getting Curse, especially on weaker characters. Let's take the injection. 38 HP is fine. I'm gonna roll here, and I'll roll again. I'll take more ranged damage. I don't think I want Fruit Basket. It's a little too slow, and we don't need to buy healing items, really. I have 22 regen, so I can definitely get away with buying the Weird Ghost. And then we'll roll, lock a coffee, and roll again. Oh, Pile of Books was moved to Uncommon. That's interesting. So it's a Tier 2 item now. I haven't looked at the full list of balance changes, but I really like this change. It's going to make this item much more reliable and much more of a real strategy that you can build around. So that's a really good change. Okay, I need to... It is a little more dangerous taking Weird Ghost on this difficulty mode, because obviously there's the extra projectiles that you still have to dodge. But with this character, with basically infinite healing, that's not that big a deal. So what I need at this point is pretty much just damage. Just ranged damage, percent damage, crit chance. Attack speed when it's efficient to buy. And then more HP and armor. If we get offered dodge in a way that makes it reasonable to buy, then I'm happy to buy dodge as well. It's a little more attractive to buy dodge on the doctor because it works well with your regeneration, and it's harder to build armor. But armor is so important that you usually just need to build armor anyways. We'll take the bag here, and then, yeah, we'll take 1.5 more armor. Here, I'm going to reroll, and reroll again, Okay, I'll take 9 more movement speed. It'll make it a little easier to dodge. A third bag is amazing, obviously, an incredible economy item. You can also see that the price of items increasing is really starting to affect us at this point. Maybe I should have banned Penguin, actually. I can't take Peaceful Bee as well because it decreases our ranged damage, which we don't want. Lemonade. I have the Jerky and +2 consumable heal. I think it is worth spending 40 on the Lemonade. I'm very happy to take the Alien Magic, and I'll do another reroll here. We have enough damage we can buy the Whistle as well. And I'll do one more reroll. Slight anti-synergy buying Lure right after buying Whistle, but we'll take it anyways, and we'll lock the head injury. So I haven't seen the Fog return yet. So it looks like there's Fog on wave 6, and then not for 4 more waves at least. Obviously, we're all gonna have to learn like what waves. Oh, I got a 3% chance dodge there. That's funny. What waves have which penalties on them. Doing my best to clear enough enemies that we will be able to focus on the loot alien here. Unfortunately, I let the Hatcher live, which is putting a lot of damage on, or a lot of health on the field, which has made it harder to get through all of the enemies, because I didn't focus down the Hatcher enough. The loot alien came in at the end there, but I wasn't able to kill it, so I lost 1 loot alien kill. I will take the Wisdom. I think that with the increased enemy health, increasing my damage over time is going to be pretty relevant. For 16, I'll take Scared Sausage, just in case we get Ice Cube. Or Fried Rice, I guess I might take. Probably not, though. I'll take more armor, just so we don't die to the Elite that's coming up. And then we'll buy all of these. I'll do a reroll. It's a little late to buy Crown, but I think we can still get away with it because we're quite strong. And then we'll roll again, buy some more range damage, and some more XP gain. I only have 14... I only have 8 range damage, so I don't think the Catling gun is actually going to be that much. But I should probably buy it anyways. My clear speed is pretty low because I haven't found weapon levels. It's also very possible that I've just rolled past some medical guns because... this isn't a weapon that I usually buy, so it's easy for the brain to skip over it. So at this point, I think our defenses are pretty good, and I really need to focus on damage. So I need weapon levels, I need ranged damage in particular, especially now that we have the Catling gun, so it's gonna work very well. With any range damage that we buy. The Catling gun also, the pets don't care about your attack speed stat. So the doctor can buy the pets at full value. Which does give you kind of a way to play with non-medical weapons. Kind of an interesting synergy with the doctor and the Paws and Claws update. Yeah, we'll keep taking the Insanity here. I'm going to take 2 range damage over 9 max HP. I really need just more flat damage. And then we'll buy these items. I'll roll. Losing half an armor for the Cursed Gummy Berserker, I think is worth it. It's close, because losing armor is so bad. But because it's cursed, I think it is worth buying here. Okay, we finally found another medical gun. I'll definitely take Vigilante Ring, and I'll buy Cake. I don't think we want a little muscly dude. It's much less efficient in terms of my max HP. And then let's see what we're doing. Okay, so this is a wave where we're fighting in the dark. That could make this Elite quite challenging to fight. But it doesn't seem like there's off-screen projectiles this wave. And we do have Wisdom, so although I was sort of slow killing it out the gate, our damage is now increasing quite a bit, and we should be able to kill it eventually. Okay, I shouldn't have taken 2 hits from that attack pattern. Obviously, that was bad. The audio cue on the whistle is now even better than it was before with the darkness. So I really like that. Also, it looks really cool. The burning looks really cool. Oh, and it lights up enemies in the darkness, the burning effect. So elemental builds get a pretty big buff here indirectly because they'll be able to see what's happening. That's awesome. I love that, actually. All right, let's take this for sure. We only have one weapon, but it's still just stats that we really want. Triangle of Power I will take as well. Yeah, we might sometimes lose damage from it, but 20% damage up front is amazing. Let's re-roll here. And I have negative luck, so I'm going to fix that, and then I'll roll again. I'm trying to roll for some good damage stats. Though, do I just take a dodge? I think we can actually build dodge here. Going up to 15 dodge is pretty nice. I could build a blunderbuss, so the attack speed doesn't matter on blunderbuss. And there's no rule that Doctor can only use medical weapons, so blunderbuss is actually a pretty nice addition to our setup. We're going to be picking up materials a lot, and we'll fire that pretty frequently. So I'm happy to add one blunderbuss into this setup, because it resets whenever you pick up a material. You're going to get a ton of value out of this, despite the attack speed penalty this character has. And then we'll lock a corrupted shard and go to wave 13 here. So we haven't yet had a wave where there's both projectiles and darkness. Drinking some water there because my voice cracked, which means cold still getting to me, and like seasonal allergies. So apologies if I sound off at any point. My cat's not really getting to do much here. Though I haven't done a great job of keeping it in its angry state, because I'm more focused on, like, dodging and picking up materials. We'll definitely take a tree. I'm going to take more dodge, because I would like to get to dodge cap at some point. Alright, the Horde is going to be kind of tough. Just a lot of enemies this wave, so we'll see what we can do here. I will upgrade to a level 3 blunderbuss, and then I'll take the sunglasses, because we have eye patch, so the piercing shots are really nice. And then I'm gonna roll here, and don't think we need any of those. Let's go to this wave. Having the double eye patch and decent crit chance is gonna help a lot in this Horde wave, giving us the ability to clear it much more easily. So far, I feel like, given that this run is a very powerful one, we haven't had a huge problem with the new difficulty setting. I do think that for more difficult runs, this is going to be a very challenging difficulty setting, because having to dodge these projectiles while also dodging a bunch of enemies with increased speed and increased health could be quite tough. I'm going to try to kill that loot alien. Try to pick up some materials here to get our blunderbuss going off. And it'll be also worse for characters that have, like, additional economy penalties, because the more expensive items will impact those characters even more. We'll take a medical gun. I will take a weird food. I know we don't need to buy that many healing items on this character, but consumable healing is so powerful. Frozen Heart and Will-O-Wisp are kind of interesting, because we do have the one scared sausage, so I could potentially get a fair amount of elemental damage from the Will-O-Wisp, and then turn that into additional damage with Frozen Heart. So I think I am going to try this combo. You probably don't need to do this, and it may end up not being that powerful, but it is a cool combination, and I think we're strong enough at this point that we can get away with it, though it's possible that the new difficulty mode will send some stuff at me to really, really surprise me there. Obviously, it's a very expensive combination of items, but crit chance from the Frozen Heart is already good for us, and building free elemental damage can give us some extra potential avenues to kill things. Especially if I find another scared sausage. We also have tons of harvesting and a crown, so I'm making okay money at this point anyways. Not getting a lot of damage from the Will-O-Wisp, though, because Scared Sausage only triggers 25% of the time, and we're killing enemies in one shot most of the time. Yeah, I'll keep taking crit chance, and we will just buy this whole shop. So I'll take the Frozen Heart, I'll buy the Medical Gun, and I'll buy the Leather Vest over the Shady Potion. Now, I can get away with buying the Shady Potion here. It's an economy item, of course. So it was wave 6 and 12 that had the darkness. So I'm expecting it to show up again on wave 18. And if I were designing this difficulty, wave 18 would also have the off-screen projectiles showing up. So I'm curious how that works. Ouch. Definitely taking a lot of damage here. And of course, we're the doctor, so we have quite low armor. But our damage does get to scale with Will-O-Wisp plus Frozen Heart, at least a little bit. Okay. I would love to kill this loot alien, but it's too fast. There was no way we were going to get to it. We'll definitely take Black Flag. We are doing enough damage that we can take that, I think, and be fine. I could take the dodge here, and I think I will, because that, combined with Leather Vest, gets me actually quite a lot of dodge. Eye Surgery I don't need. We actually want enemies to be burning for longer, so that Will-O-Wisp is more likely to go off. And then let's roll here. Coil, I guess I don't want. I don't really need more movement speed. I'll definitely take a Medical Gun. My max HP is pretty low. With 26 health, or 26 regen, I think we can get away with the Weird Ghost. And then I'm going to roll again, and I'll take a padding, because my max HP is still pretty low. Alright, let's go to the next wave here. Okay, so it's Dark Wave 17, interesting. I probably would not have taken a Weird Ghost if I had known it was going to be a Dark Wave, because it does make it a little harder to not take damage. I love that the burning enemies cast light. Oh, alright, game crashed. Oh no! Alright, let me see if we can get back into it. Okay, the game crashed in the middle of the wave. Obviously, this is a beta, so of course that is gonna happen. Let's hit resume, and okay, we can just go jump back into wave 17 here. And hopefully it's not a consistent crash. If it is, then I'll submit a bug report. I don't remember at what point in the wave the game crashed, also. But I think it was before this, so I think we've made it past the point where it crashed anyways. So this is darkness, but still no off-screen projectiles to dodge. Okay, so that's interesting. That enemy... Oh, it was taking damage from the cat. And you can see the numbers popping up. I was confused because it was taking damage, but wasn't lit up the way that the enemies that are burning are. But it was because the cat was hitting it. I mean, we don't have any use for this engineering, really, but I think I'll take the Cursed Strange Book anyways, and we'll take 4 ranged damage. That's great. I'm not going to take Weird Ghost going into an Elite Wave. I will take Adrenaline, because mostly because we want to push to 60 dodge if possible. We do get we take huge attack speed penalties if I buy the minigun, and I don't think it's that good for us. It's got a 0.1 second cooldown, so it's only shooting basically twice as fast as a medical gun and doing half the damage. So it's kind of the equivalent damage to this level 3 medical gun, or less than the level 4. So the minigun I don't think is worth taking here. I don't really need a lemonade at this point. I don't need the penguin. I will take an alien worm and go up to 70 HP. We'll take another coffee, and then I'll roll here. And I'll take a tentacle as well, mostly for the crit chance, not for the healing, though the healing is nice. And then I'm not going to re-roll for 42. Okay, so no darkness, wave 18. So it's 6, 12, 17, or potentially random. It might be that it varies run to run as well. I would be surprised if that was the case, because that's not the usual design philosophy for this game, but you know, this is nightmare mode. Anything could be true. So we killed the elite. It's not that bad. Or it wasn't that difficult, this wave. Oh, any chance I can get this guy? It is the 10% enemy speed, as you'll know if you've played any like percent runs. Oh, I'll definitely take a scared sausage. We'll definitely take Sif's relic. For 24, I'll take 3 regen. I think that's fine. And then here I'm going to take dodge. Dodge is kind of our most efficient defensive stat at this point. And then I'll roll. But as I was saying, as you'll know if you've played any runs with increased difficulty settings, just in the menu, the option to increase enemy health and move speed, the thing that really gets you is the increased move speed. And that is definitely true here as well. Let's re-roll again, and I guess I'll just take the potato, and we'll lock the hedgehog, because more ranged damage is exactly what we're looking for. Incendiary turret is actually kind of close to doing good damage. I think I'm going to buy this just because I want to see... I'm assuming Wave 20 will be dark again, and I want to see if the Incendiary turret also lights up the screen. Okay, so these are off-screen projectiles, but they're moving faster than the ones from previous waves, I believe. All from the same direction, though, following the same kind of zigzagging pattern that they've all been doing, so it's not... we're not having to do a different dodging pattern, though obviously I'm still just walking into them. Definitely going to restrict your movement a lot on characters with weak damage output. Sift's relic making it so I don't have to chase down these materials is pretty nice. I think on a lot of characters you now are going to want to avoid getting curse, just because the enemy health is really high. I don't need the bandana because we have double eye patch and 50 crit chance, so that's fine. And then here, I think I'm going to roll for ranged damage, though 2 armor is probably even better. Let's buy the incendiary turret because, like I said, I want to do science. I don't need hunting trophy going into wave 20. I'll definitely take metal. I'll take Cyclops worm. And I don't need an alien worm. Let's do a couple more rerolls. And I'll do another one. And I could take Clockwork Wasp for extra move speed. And it, I guess, helps the incendiary turret. I think I'm just going to reroll here. Maybe we find something good. Sad Tomato gives me more regeneration. Obviously, it starts me at half health, but going up to 48 regeneration, or even more, because the doctor buys regeneration at an increased value, by double regeneration, we basically will heal instantly, so I think we're just going to do that, and then we'll go to wave 20. Oh, it's not dark. Okay. That's a little disappointing to me, honestly, though I think it's probably good for making runs not ridiculously hard. I assume that the incendiary turret fire does light up the darkness. I hope it lights it up blue the way that the elemental damage lights it up orange. The boss is definitely taking a lot of damage here, but our defensive stats are so strong that at this point I can take hits pretty freely and it's fine. If I took a ton of damage in a row, it could be pretty dangerous. The off-screen projectiles do make this wave a lot harder. So I think especially for characters that aren't aiming to kill the boss, that is going to be a real challenge. Let's look at our damage output. So the blunderbuss did 15k. So it actually was not significant. It was like much worse than our level 4 medical gun. I'm kind of surprised by that. Usually this does really well in boss waves, and we had a Sif's Relic. So I'm a little surprised that the blunderbuss did so little damage. I wonder what was causing that, actually. Then we also unlocked the Wounded. The Wounded, this character dies in one hit. You start with a tardigrade, and you get 5% extra speed and harvesting. So this is just a challenge mode character, like a, I guess, 2-hit challenge, because you have a tardigrade. So it's going to be a little easier to avoid dying, but this is going to be a very difficult character overall, especially on Nightmare mode, where you can't rely on just killing enemies before they put any damage onto the field. So that's going to be a fun challenge mode character to play as well. Looking at my items here, we had 900 materials from bags, ended up with 91 health. The Will-O-Wisp ended up giving me 17 damage, which is only plus 2 damage per shot on the Frozen Heart. So this combo didn't really work out, but this was kind of more for fun anyways. 300 extra materials from Black Flag, 60 healing from our tentacles, so that did well. 100, a nice round 100 extra harvesting from the crowns, and only 30,000 damage from the cat, so the cat did very poorly as well. What else? And a nice solid 562 damage from the incendiary turret in the last wave. We didn't get to see if it lights things up with the blue flames, but I'm assuming that it does. Alright, well that was really cool. My thoughts on Nightmare mode so far. The off-screen projectiles are definitely going to demand a lot of attention, especially for melee characters. That's going to be something that you really need to pay attention to. You will also have a lot of trouble with low damage characters, where the extra enemy damage and movement speed is really painful. So Nightmare mode, probably like random weapon challenges will be very hard on Nightmare mode, because a lot of them simply won't have the damage to kill the enemies. But most characters, I think, in the current setup will have some fairly straightforward paths to beat it. If you have tried the mode and are struggling with any characters, or if you can think of characters that you think are going to be particularly hard, let me know, because I'm going to start testing out Nightmare mode with every character. Obviously, the next video we're going to play the Wounded, because it's the new character, so that's what we're really excited about. But I am looking forward to trying out the increased difficulty with the whole cast. And also, I believe that we get a nice little frame for having beaten it with the Doctor. Alright, my friends, hope you enjoyed this look at Nightmare mode. Tune in tomorrow, because I'm just about to jump back in, and I'll play the Wounded, and I'll post that the day after this video goes up. If you want to see the new character, and we'll see if we can beat Nightmare mode as a one-hit challenge. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato, all pain, no gain, and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, friends. I'll catch you next time.